let us call the number first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, because of our supporters. Yes,
Our fans.
we have a very routine ruining marriages every day. It's a routine thing.
A routine?
Routine ruining. Yes.
I don't seem to understand this.
Yes. But Jupiter people understand it. Please, these are the number you can call if you want to call. When it comes to a relationship,
before you give us
now we need to take it from the indices. First of all, let me just show you who I am and who I am. From the indices of marriage, first of all, the advice and I will give candidly before I go into the illustration of my point.
Wait, before you continue, please try as much as possible to make your grammar, understandable.
Simple for people to understand.
Anyway,
so that they can follow you.
No problem.
And support you.
No problem.
Good.
Now,
people that don't know where they are going to
my candid advice, I will say let this Halima go, shift out of that marriage. These are my reasons.
The one that just got married?
Yes.
Okay.
We have parental orientation to a child. First, which is 77/79%, of which a parent embed on a child, either male or female. Now, we have a child observation to a parental orientation, which is 65.5%.
Please go ahead.
Now, when a child is tender, the rate at which a dear child absorbs a parental orientation is 73.4%. Now, when a girl grows up to the age of getting married, it absorbs up to 80%.
So you mentioned earlier that it was about 65.6.
I said when it has stages and ages.
Okay.
Now, into a marriage which is pre-oriental marriage, which I called at the age which all this mostly the northerners, when they are not up to the age of marriage, you give them out to the marriage, which is a pre-oriental marriage. What they absorb when they go to the husband's house has diminished and decreased. That's what they call law of diminishing return in marriage. It has decreased to 10%, which will not enable the girl to understand the temerities, the kukumas that are accompanying with marriage.
Wait, like I said earlier, break all these things down. Just hit the nail on the head, straight to the point.
Now, okay, let me, before I go into the next segment of my grammatical question, let me tell you what you need to know. The girl married this guy when she has no knowledge of what marriage is all about. Love at first sight does not guarantee peace, understanding, and the rudiment of following marriage. It does not guarantee it. You love somebody from the Jupiter perspective, which also attached to an earthly perspective. When the girl is at a tender age, you saw a guy which the orientation of your parents have diminished from 77/79%.
She got married at a tender age.
That is what is tenable in this northern. It wasn't stated. It wasn't stated, but it is not an assumption. This is my client. Are you getting me? Yes, he's a client that I'm defending. She got this marriage at the age of 16, but it wasn't stated on the statement. It was as a result of tender age. She has not gotten anything to do with marriage. You just saw a guy, you love her, you love him, and within people have gotten married. It does not guarantee a success in a marriage. You need to allow the absorbance of this parental orientation to mature to 80% and remain in you when you are matured, so that the 80.5% will sustain you to the marriage. It will not decrease and diminish to 10.3 or 10%. Are you getting me? So the issue now is that the mother, I will not blame the mother, because I will tell you about the influence of parents to a boy child, which is the mother still have a great influence on the son. So if this girl remain in this marriage, definitely her future is will be tampered with. she will not move forward in life because the guy has not gotten what it takes to sustain marriage. It will just be, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you. My parents said this, my mother said this. So the guy need to step out in order for her to pursue her future. It is not time for marriage yet, despite the fact that they got married at first sight. Asiwaju, before I fire down.
Continue, I want you to
No.
By the time you use knife and remove your eyeball, and to you below machine.
So how will you pluck it out?
Thank you. How you pluck it out is you close that eye. So as it is now, your mother said, follow what your father is saying. You are a man. Take decision. Do you understand me? You are a man. You should be decisive. You should be able to take decision. Look at her talking. You are continue.
Now, let me just counter my colleague a little bit. Do you know that the extent at which our parents understood marriage has quite diminished at this period of time?
Mazi.
Hold on. Explain.
They have a lighter understanding and a believable temerity to go into the marriage and have a full respect of what marriage is all about.
Okay, since they have the lighter, who now have the matches?
Hold on.
Now,
Believable temerity.
yes, my lord. What I'm trying to say in essence is this: the mother has a big role to play in this boy's life. She brought this boy to life. She knows what the boy passed through in life. And a good mother knows the best for the child. Now, this girl just came from nowhere. You know, I'm not objecting the fact that they said a guy must to marry a girl that is from his community. They know why they said so. They know why. Because the community have known themselves. When anything happens, it will not take you long to go and meet the girl's parents to settle things. But all this one that we are marrying from Lagos, you go here and marry, from here you go here and marry. I'm not against it. But what I'm trying to say is that this boy should follow.
But he's already married.
He has followed them now.
One wife that was from his community.
So now he choose from another place.
His mother still insisting.
Now, the one that is not, whether you are from the community or not, I know that love matters. But custom and tradition also demands that you should do the right thing.
Mazi.
Now,
I don't accept. I don't agree with that. I did not agree with that. How will you say custom and tradition? For what? Is it custom and tradition that will feed them, that will take care of the home? Now, some parents, they will see, parents, I want you to listen very well. Some parents, they put most of us, we, their children, their sons, they put us in some kind of emotional damage that we don't say out, all in the name of we are obedient to them. Now, you force me to marry somebody I don't even have feelings for or I don't love. That will take me years. Or because, and mind you, you don't love someone out of pity. You don't marry out of pity.
Something Igbo people used to say. Nwanyi BJ di ohuru, yeri wokpurukpu ano. Me anu wodu, yeri wokpurukpu oka. Which means when a woman is newly married in her husband's house, she will be eating big meat. But by the time she begin to stay long, she will begin to eat big talk. Now, this girl has not been long. She has started eating a big talk from the mother-in-law.
Big what?
Big talk, big insult, big words. Are you getting me? That is a red sign.
It's not a red sign.
In this marriage.
I can even tell you that is it a red sign. It's even is another form of test for her. If she can endure. I'm with you.
All right, thank you. So the issue here is this: there was a custom, or in fact, there's still a custom that when you want to get married as the first child, you have to get married to, a female in that community.
In that community.
The question is now: did the guy get married to a female in that community? Yes or no?
He did.
Good. Now he divorced that person, right?
Yes.
So now he's married to Alima. Why didn't the woman, that's the mother of Abdul, why didn't she object to it initially from the outset? Why is it that now that they are married, after many months, she's now objecting and causing commotion?
Now, there is something you need to read from the.
I don't need to read. I already read it.
Yes, you
Just answer the question.
Yes, I will answer your question.
Right.
There is something you need to understand from the case now.
Understand.
Now they said they got married at first sight. We church.
Fell in love.
They fell in love.
It's love.
Yes, they fell in love. That from that love now they got married at first sight.
3 months later.
3 months later they got married. We church knowing other things. It is stated there. Other things that is backing marriage is because love just push
so
them.
Is it the love at first sight that is your problem, or what?
Now, it's not love at first sight. It's other things that accompany marriage which they did not know.
So what are those other things that
that is what I have to explain to you now.
That's the mother's approval.
Yes. Number one, the mother's approval. Number two, you know they have been there for like a year in that marriage, right?
Yeah.
Now, the mother have taken her time to observe and understand this girl. Where the future of this girl will lead her son to.
Where the future?
The future, yes, of
So
this
she
girl.
saw it. She saw it.
Yes.
Mazi.
No, from a sheer understanding and research that you have made.
What do you have before this course now that backs up that your assertion?
Now, what back up my assertion is that the marriage is premature by brain. Premature physically. They are being pushed by love at first sight, not the real understanding that I am up to marriage and I want to absorb somebody as my wife.
My lord.
Now, hold on, I'm
Let
coming.
me finish.
I am coming. What I am saying in essence is this: the girl there's something they call reshuffle. Matrimonial reshuffle. When you marry, you go back. If something is going wrong,
Marriage counselor.
something is going wrong, you go back to your parents, let them reshuffle you before you go back to the marriage.
So what the what?
Yes, it's in Jupiter we call it reshuffle, but on Earth they call it retraining. When a woman doesn't know how to cook, they say
You
go
go
back.
back to your mother.
Yeah, let me teach you how to
So
do
why
some
can't
things.
the mother-in-law train her now that the lady is in her son's house?
No, you
Why
can't.
must she go back to her parents' house to go and learn?
There's a difference between a mother-in-law and your biological mother.
There's no difference.
No, there is a difference.
There's no
There's
difference.
no
That is
Mother
another
is mother.
There is no difference.
That is another thing
There is no
that is another
difference,
thing that.
Mazi.
Mazi,
No difference.
That's another thing I have to learn.
let me make something clear to you, my lord.
Before you make anything clear, let's take a break. When we come back, the conversation is going to confirm 103.9, your station for knowledge and entertainment. It is still the People's Court right here on the show. And today, Abdullah is asking for some advice. So he explained that it was love at first sight in June 2021 when he first met Halima at the market. He said they were so much in love that they could not wait to settle down together. Halima even told her parents about him, and within 3 months of meeting, they were wedded according to Islamic rites. But the ecstasy of their love made them neglect a vital issue. Abdullah's mother did not support the marriage because their tradition in Soba, Kaduna State requires the male child to marry his first wife from the community. Abdullah explained that he had earlier married a lady from there but divorced her because he was not interested in the marriage anymore. Abdullah hoped that once his wife settled into his house, his mother would come to terms with the new reality. Unfortunately for them, it's not so, because she has continually pressured him to divorce his new wife and marry someone else from the community. It's been about 1 year into the marriage and the pressure has persisted despite Abdullah and Halima having a child. So Abdullah is asking for some advice. What should he do? If you were to give him an advice, what would you advise him to do? Would you advise him to divorce his new wife so that he could be at peace with his mother, with his new wife and their child, and ignore his mother's request?
Yeah.
Mazi?
My lord,
Yes, Mazi.
let me say the truth here. There are two factors here. One is interior. Two is exterior. The exterior fact now is the community custom, which you must marry somebody from the community. The interior, which is internal, which we have not really understood and know, is the one that the mother have seen. Even people used to say, which means the suffer that I went through, my son will not go through it, or my daughter. Now, there are some indices that you have to put in reality before you consent or assent anybody to marry your son or your daughter, but from the part of the parents. Do you know that some parents, let me use this, although education is not everything, but I want to use it as an instance. There are some parents that will say, because I did not go to school, there are some things that I would have as a mother contributed in my husband's house, but education denied me it. Because I didn't have a good hand job, I will have contributed something in the family of my husband, but that denies me it. Now, I got married early. I wasn't matured enough. I didn't really understand what marriage is all about. I just got married at first sight. That denied me some things that I would have understood before going into marriage and choose a man that I want to marry. That is the things that the mother have sat down and listened. This girl is still tender age. Number one, she need to grow mentally. Know what marriage is all about. Although age does not determine it, but in this instance, age has a role to play. Number two, education wise, the girl have not gone anywhere in terms of education. Number two, there's something they call parental culture, of which I have given the indices, which is parental orientation. The girl has not really gotten it. Now, in terms of handwork, that will assist you to contribute some part in your husband's house, the girl has not gotten it.
Hey.
I'm coming. This is what the mother have sum up together, that this girl have to go back to her parents, go and leave the marriage. That is what I call reshuffle. Go let your parents reshuffle you.
Mazi, there's nothing like reshuffle. You going to advise somebody who just, okay, that is, you are trying to tell me that somebody that gets married today, or because they are young in marriage, they should go back to their parents' house and learn how to get.
Yes.
No.
That is what the mother have seen.
Marriage is a forever. Marriage is forever college.
No.
You don't graduate in marriage.
The girl has not gotten
you get married,
there.
you start learning.
She has not.
Till you die.
She has not.
She has not. But she know how to cook and she can.
It's not only cooking and
Order.
Okay, let's take a break right now. When we come, People's Court right here, Live FM 103.9. Juries, your final advice to Abdullahi.
The final advice that I have to give to Abdullah is this.
The truth.
Yes, this marriage, from the list of the examples that I have listed down. Number one, the culture of the community has a very big role to play in any man's marriage, of which civilization has swept away now, swept under the carpet. That is why marriages are very difficult to get into now and easy to divorce. Formerly, it was very difficult to marry, easy to marry and difficult to divorce. Now, we should not overlook the role that the custom of the community have to play. That is number one. Number two, we should not ignore what the mother of this boy have seen. Is a mother that have a planned future for the son. She has screened this girl, found out that there are some things this girl is lacking in her life. Education, what is it called? Upgrading of personal potentials, which she needs. Her parents need to do that one. Now, marital culture, of which she lacks everything. Now, my Lord, from all these things that made some marriages in the olden time did not succeed. Now that things has gone and escalated too much high, that beyond anybody's control, love at first sight is still pushing them. There will be a time that this marriage will get to. The guy will shout to her, I know, I will have listened to my mother. Now, let him use this opportunity to listen to the mother and know what the mother. Let the girl go and grow up first.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ashwaju.
My Lord.
Yes.
From the way Mazi is talking, is like there's age in what we have been discussing since. But since no age is being identified, no number is given, my dear sister, my dear brother, both of you are married. God has given you a bouncing baby boy. You have a son and you have your mother. Now, she needs to accept this marriage. Leroli or lalagidili. Yes. Why can't she not agree before you guys get married? Why did she now wait until you have a son? Now she's not seeing for.
As I said earlier, with respect to marriage between an adult and a minor. Now, by virtue of the Child Rights Act, no person under the age of 18 years is capable of contracting a valid marriage. So accordingly, a marriage so contracted is null and void and of no effect whatsoever. Now, that's just by the way Also, I would also advise that this is not a matter that should easily or should rather make a marriage
that just like you have said, this is not an issue that should even get to court in the first place, because like she said, the marriage hasn't broken down. It's just a matter of the mother having a problem with it. So just like she advised, they should have a family meeting that
he has to respect the mother. He has to respect the mother so that the marriage will not crack at the end.
But the mother too should. Tola Jino.